Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Kim.
I'm Steve.
And today we're in the basement.
Debunka.
The dungeon.
The dungeon.
You can see it's kind of messy down here, but this is where we do a lot of our prepping stuff, mostly because I really like having a basement. It's a real convenience factor at this point of having a place to store a lot of our preps. But yeah, to say today we're going to be kind of going over something cool that we've been getting into and kind of let y'all kind of see it and maybe do a review on how we're liking it. It's buckets, so pretty easy review hopefully, but we can kind of tell you more about the Augason Farms 6-gallon Gamma Seal lid buckets, and we're going to be doing a quick review and show you a little bit about them.
Yeah, I just want to talk to you about them. Most of us preppers go to Walmart or the Home Depot and pick up the 5-gallon plastic buckets, 5-gallon lid, drop the mylar, and put them in.
We have it down to a science.
We have it down to a routine. Today we're going to talk about something different.
All right, guys, stick with us. I didn't know who was going to talk.
Buckets. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of standard. I don't know if a lot of you guys out there use 5-gallon buckets for any kind of bulk orders, but we did for a long time, still do. And it's kind of, like Steve said, kind of become a routine. You go get a standard bucket, 5-gallon bucket, right? Standard lid. What's these cost? They usually around $3 or so, and then like
$2-3, $1.99.
Depending on where you go.
I know some people who will go to bakeries and get the icing buckets that are
For free,
5-gallon buckets for free.
We can usually come across either good deals or a way of getting some. You've seen probably in other videos where we talk about the oxygen absorber, not oxygen absorber, the moisture absorber buckets that we managed to get for free. But usually most people can go and get a simple 5-gallon bucket with a lid, and they tend to, because these are not food grade at Walmart, these are just your standard utility buckets. Mop buckets, pig buckets, storage. They're kind of useful for a little bit of everything, but they are not food grade. Once you get into food grade buckets, it does get a little bit more expensive, so a lot of people stick to the standard. What they'll do is they'll get their bucket, and then they'll go buy 5-gallon mylar, 5-gallon mylar bags, or we've even had 1 gallon and just kind of stacked them up as we went into a bucket and then sealed them all up. But that's what you usually have to go to in order to get that vacuum sealed aspect of it, is to get mylar and then put it into a bucket. But we are trying something new. We have been trying something new, and so we wanted to tell you a little bit about it. And that's this big box back here. And I'm really liking the convenience of these guys. I said in the intro, it is done by Augason Farms, and so a nice, good, trusted name in the prepper community. I really like Augason Farms. We've used a lot of their foods, and we have bought some of their already pre-done buckets of different oatmeals and things like that. But these are 6-gallon buckets with gamma lids. And I don't know if y'all ever seen a gamma lid, and so I was going to pull one out right quick. This box has 10 of them, and we picked these up on Sam's Club, the online store at Sam's Club. And I'll try to put a picture in at some point. They're sold out today, so my picture that I took was sold out, but I bought them a bunch of times over there. I think everybody's just kind of everybody's getting on the prepper bandwagon.
Everybody laughs at the prepper until the coronavirus.
But this is how the gamma lids come, and yeah, that's really bright, really, hopefully y'all can read that. Alright, so these guys, they say snapped adapter rings, seals to lip. Okay, that's just telling you how to do it. Easy open, airtight, and pest proof. So the airtight is what got me going. hey, that's why we get the mylar, is for the airtight aspect in our buckets. So what's wrong with just doing these? And I checked them out. They are actually food grade buckets. They are not just standard utility buckets. I've got one over there that we're working on filling up right now. If you want to show what one looks like. It's got some in there, so it may be heavy.
You do this to me after a hard workout.
All right, yeah, now you'll see the difference in the sizes. I mean, yeah, huge difference from a 5 gallon to a 6 gallon. And you're not losing any space, because I do tend to find the mylar takes up some space in the 5 gallon buckets, because we only can fill it up so much before we have to go and seal it off. And it does tend to, with all the excess in there, does tend to take up a little bit of excess space. So with getting the food grade bucket with the, Gamma Seal lid, Gamma Seal, let it get put on there right, is going to be where we can go straight from our bulk food that we picked up, which today we're going to be bagging or bucketing wheat that we picked up. And we've got, how many is that? That is 6 50-pound bags of wheat. So a lot. It's it's 300 pounds. 300 pounds of wheat that we don't have to. Now, if we were mylaring that would be an entire day, it feels like, of work, of having to go get our buckets. And I want to say we did this before with 50-gallon bags. Is not quite, it's about one, but I think we have doesn't quite hold one 5 gallon bucket.
That's a little bit more.
Yeah, it doesn't quite hold all of it, and the 5 gallon with the mylar in there. But with the 6 gallon, where if we're not having to put mylar bags into it, we can pour it straight into the bucket, put our oxygen absorbers in there, seal them bad boys up.
Now, I know what some of you are going to say, but plastic degrades, plastic weathers. If you stack them on top of each other, they're going to get micro cracks and micro fractures, and eventually you're going to have a problem. We'll let you know when that happens. We've got several of these that we've had for
a couple years, and we've been doing this. We do tend not to stack them on top of each other. What's best is you can put like a piece of plywood in between them to help distribute the weight if you are going to stack them. But we've had them for a few years. We don't tend to stack them. We just kind of put them, right now they're in a closet at the bug out location.
But when you do that, you usually use cinder blocks or something, create shelving for them, and just thin shelving, just enough to hold the weight.
Yeah. So you don't have to do a lot with it. Like the biggest thing is just not having one bucket on top of the other bucket, because you don't want to mess with the lid. But like I said, some plywood even between them, just to distribute the weight a little bit. But I'm really excited because I'm not really sure how much this is going to hold. So
we're guessing here, but
yeah, like I said, they do come in this box with 10 of them now. Now the price, I don't know if y'all saw when I popped up the picture, it's $160 for this box. And that seems like a lot, but that means it is only $16 per bucket. Now $16 per bucket with a 6 gallon food grade with a Gamma Seal lid on it. That's not a bad price at all. Yes, it's a lot all at once because they only sell them in this big box that I know of. I have not seen individual ones, but if you can save up the money, the convenience factor of being able to just take a large amount of food and just being able to put them in buckets and go without having to go through the stress of, I know a lot of people have problems with not getting the mylar to seal, different problems, even finding a good place where they can sell mylar. I know we've got a lot of people overseas that are having issues about finding mylar. Locally, Walmart is everywhere, I think. They've taken over the world. And so Sam's Club could be in that area. And if you don't have a Sam's Club membership, knowing somebody that'll let you go, hey, can I use my credit card to go on there, have it, and it's shipped for free. That was the crazy thing, that big of a box. It was free shipping through Sam's Club. So we just had to pay taxes, and then it was shipped to the house for free. I don't know if that's true everywhere, but our Sam's Club does.
Oh, there is one other thing that we needed to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about Gamma Seal lids, we last year did a video about using some dog food containers for rice and whatnot.
That we also picked up at Sam's Club.
Yeah. And they had the Gamma Seal lid. And the question was raised, if you leave that outside, how's it going to do? We have now left the dog food container, the one that actually has the dog food in it, for 2 winters. Or one winter. One winter and a summer.
We'll have to go back to see when
we'll have to see when the date was. But it's still doing just fine. No rodents, nothing gnawing on the edge.
That was the big thing. We had a big problem with
no
raccoons getting into our dog food.
No possums.
No ants, no nothing getting into the dog food. And it's...
So with it sitting outside and swelling and shrinking due to the weather, it has stayed functional.
And
so
doing really
I like the Gamma Seal lid for that.
And we do have them still down here in the basement, where I don't know if we can pop up the video from where we used the experiment to begin with. We're still using our pinto beans and rice little containers down here in the basement. And it is convenient to just being able to open this up, grab out what you need, and keep going, especially if you're cycling through. Like I said, we've got our rice that we're cycling through, which we're trying to get in the habit of eating more rice, which
You're welcome.
we have been quite a bit. The pinto beans, not so much. We haven't had beans in a while, but we need to start cycling through. We'll make a big pot of beans here soon.
Congratulations, beans and cornbread just went on the menu for this week.
But all right, guys, we're going to kind of show you how this comes. They come in really cool. They come in 3 different color lids, which if you are doing a bunch of different foods, it may be super easy to color coordinate. That way you can just at a glance. I know a lot of people do this, like say red is for wheat, blue is for beans, B for blue beans, and then white is for your rice. I know a lot of people, I have yet to do that because I'm kind of lazy. And but it is a wonderful idea, but I didn't start doing that, and I just did whatever, and now I can't start doing it. But I do label everything, of course. I do put labels on all of them, so I know the date on when they were sealed up and what's actually in there. And so trying to keep track of actually how much we have, and seeing how many 6 gallons instead of 5 gallon buckets that we have.
More lids.
More lids. Like so, there should be 10 lids for each bucket.
The greatest force in nature is suction.
Bucket suction. All right, I'll grab a whole.
Grab that one.
Hey, looky there. They come right apart. All right. Warning, warning. I was trying to find the... It should have the little thing for food grade. There's like a symbol on it. I don't know it right offhand. But yeah, that's what you're looking at, is a big 6 gallon bucket. It's got all the markings. I don't remember which markings are for food grade. Oh, it shows you when they were made and stuff like that. So it's like the number 2, I think, on it.
Could be.
It's that symbol there. Should be for food grade. I checked out.
Be.
I made sure that they were food grade.
Or maybe it's a 17, AN17. Anyways,
this is your bucket. And so we're going to kind of reposition so y'all can see all the wheat. And we're going to see how many of these buckets can hold 300 pounds of wheat are going to go in these buckets. So I'm kind of excited about first of all, having 300 pounds of wheat, which that's nice. That's really nice. We usually buy smaller loads. Like I know a lot of people, I know for a fact the 50-pound bags of rice that we get will not fill this up all the way. We usually have to open up a second bag and finish filling it. And so that's been fun. So
yeah.
I want to see though how many, because I haven't really calculated how many buckets that we're using. So it'd be really nice to have it in more smaller. They're not smaller containers, but a smaller number of
Smaller
containers.
number of buckets.
Yeah. So let's reposition and see what we've got going on here. All right, guys.
In a minute. Okay, guys, as we're getting ready to prep and pour gamma lids, there is one minor hitch with gamma lids when you're setting them up. I prefer to take the lid out of the ring, and this is the issue. You're going to take your ring. Usually, most people do a mallet or something. I'm just that strong. You come through. And you're going to press it down so that it's here. And then your lid, when you're done with it, just screws back on. But setting up your gamma lid, you might want a rubber mallet or something. I don't recommend a hammer, because hammers, you can shatter plastic and whatnot and bend it. But getting it on can be a bit of a beast, especially for some of our older viewers. Rubber mallet, it'll go on. But this is the one major pain with dealing with these. So let me get a couple more buckets prepped and we'll start pouring.
Okay, guys, we had a little bit of a debate between the two of us about how many buckets we think we need for 300 pounds of wheat. I said 5.
I'm going to go with 6.
You think it's going to need more?
I don't know. I'm
One
guessing.
for each bag?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to...
Mostly because I don't want to lift and pour a partial. So it's going to be 6, even if it'll take more, because I refuse to lift it.
Okay, so we're going to just start pouring it in. Now, if you can see, Steve, do you remember where we picked these up with Bear Independent and...
Pastor Joe, Viking
Pastor
Preparedness,
Joe, okay.
came up with a way to get a bulk order going.
Yeah, we got one of the smaller orders with ours, and so, but we have a smaller
tribe.
Yeah, than most of the guys there. But these already have been frozen. We throw them in the freezer for a couple of days, and they've already thawed out for a couple of days, and so we've just been needing to get them bucketed. And we're just showing more the convenience factor of the gamma lids with the buckets. And so, all right. Yay.
I'm going to cut it now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, the thing with buying the wheat like this, we bought it from an actual, like, planter, straight from the farmer. That's the word.
Yeah.
And so, on stuff like that, you're going to notice that every now and then there might be, like, pieces of the stalk. Yeah. We haven't found a little piece of corn mixed in there, and so it's not going to be this well-processed bag that you're going to get like you would if you went to the supermarket, but it looks gorgeous.
And you're going to have to grind it yourself, because it is
berries. Yeah.
Wheat berry.
So, which it does last a lot longer that way, and that's why we did it this way, is buying it in the wheat berry. So I'm really excited because this is supposed to last a really nice, good long time. And all right, let's see.
Let's make some noise.
I'll probably mute it and fast forward. How about that? We'll put on like some music or something. Or Steve will make the soundtrack. One of the two. All right. Okay, stop. You gotta make sure you leave enough room for, like you said, for your oxygen absorbers. And here, let me show you you gotta get right up to it. But when the lid actually seals down onto it, so you want to not leave maybe about here, let me bring you down.
About an inch gap.
We're right there at the top. And so when you put down the lid, I'm gonna bring down here. Come on. When you bring down the lid, see it's a little bit thick. And so
we got corn.
We do have corn mixed. I told you they had corn sometimes mixed in there. And so when you put it down, you can hear it kind of hitting. Want to make sure you get all the way down onto it. So leave a little bit on the top. So, yeah. Just because that's going to stick down there quite a bit because it's getting that nice good seal on the bottom of it. So that looks good. Like I said, you're still going to have to put your oxygen absorbers in there. So we're going to call that one good. And it looks like Steve's probably going to be right that we're going to have to...
Guys. They never listen to us. We're always right. When we point it out,
these might be a
we
little
live
bit...
the life of a monk for the next 6 months.
So these may be actually a little bit more than 50 pounds because I've done 50-pound bags from the supermarket that were, so I think these are kind of more eyeballed a little bit. So they may not be quite 50.
Excuse
No. They gave us extra because this is still a lot in here. I'm going to totally compare. I'll show you a 50-pound bag of rice one of these days and show you the difference. All right. So we'll set this one aside we'll do one last bucket. So we know about how much we're looking at for each bucket. So we're going to pause it, finish filling it up. That way I don't have to watch every little bit. And we'll do an in-show to show and prove Steve was right that it held a lot more than we thought. So.
And if you like the fact that the man is about to be right, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, hit the little bell.
Well, not only that, could you imagine how much more this would have to take? How many more buckets we would have had to buy if they were 5-gallon? If these are filling up 6-gallon buckets to that extent.
I think it's 7 to 8. Easy.
Yeah, for this much with 5-gallon buckets. So I'm really excited using the 6-gallon. So we're going to finish filling this up, okay?
See you soon.
Okay, guys, we were both wrong. It ended up being...
Good news. She was wrong. Guys, we win.
That's not the default.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it ended up being 7 3/4 of a bucket. So yeah, we got a lot of food now.
Well, we had a lot of food, but now we've got a lot of food in the storage containers.
Which I'm really liking how nice these look. I'm more liking how easy these are to get going. Yeah, it filled it up almost to the top.
Yeah, this is the partial.
Yeah. So all we're going to do now is throw oxygen absorbers in there. For these big of buckets, I'm going to probably do 4 to 5 of the very large oxygen absorbers. I think that should handle it. That's usually I do 2 in a mylar, 2 large ones in a mylar, but then since I'm worried this has still got a lot of air into it, I'm going to do probably at least 4 in there just to be on the safe side with the oxygen absorbers. So that's the plan. It may seem like a lot, but I would just want to make sure it really gets a good seal on it.
Yeah.
With them being airtight, pest resistant, water resistant, the whole 9, I think these will do really well in your long-term food storage. Like I said, especially if you're doing a large bulk order of food and you're like really not looking forward to mylaring all that. So, which I don't blame you one bit. Because I do a lot of mylaring here and it is a task. A task I don't mind a lot of the times. Like I said, if we do a smaller order, like if I go and get a few bags of beans that are on sale, I'll put them in my 1-gallon mylar and then slowly build those up and put them into a large bucket or container, and that's fine. But doing this big of an order, like I said, it was 300 pounds of wheat is what we ended up bucketing today, so that's really nice to have. It feels like a really big dent put in, because we had a lot of rice, we had a lot of beans, and we didn't have any wheat put away. We had oats put away, whole steel oats. So this is our first wheat. I'm so glad that we were able to get it for as cheap as we did and as large of a bulk as we did. Definitely be doing this again. And hopefully the containers, y'all like the idea. Like I said, that I've found them at Sam's Club, but they are made through Augason Farms, and so you could possibly go through their website and maybe they have them in individuals. But I'm liking them so far. I really like the convenience of them. other than putting the lids on, which are
buckets.
buy a mallet. It helps.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. I know it was kind of a long video for such a short topic, but I really wanted y'all to see what we were dealing with and what we were doing to add to our long-term food storage. And I'm going to go let the kids play in this enormous box now. Or the cats. Probably the cats, not the kids. And so... But anyways, guys, if you got any questions...
How much do the kids weigh?
Shh. It fits, it ships.
What's shipping to China?
Anyways, guys, you shush. I hope this was helpful and at least give you an idea that there's more than just buckets and mylar that you can do. There's lots of options out there for the prepping community. So hopefully y'all can help with your own long-term food if you were worried about the aspect of putting stuff into long-term food storage and you were worried about convenience or what you're going to use, what'd be easiest for you. A lot of the elderly people, I know these Gamma Seal lids are super easy to open. Once you get the sealed lid onto it, they're super easy and convenient to open. And they're great for cycling through because you can close them back up a lot easier than you can do mylar. And so hopefully you guys can at least consider these. And so we're not sponsored by Sam's Club. I know we talk about them a lot, but that's just...
We don't have a Costco in this area.
We don't have a
Costco.
We don't have a Publix. We don't have a Costco. We don't have nothing like that. So
There you go.
Sam's Club is our go-to. But like I said, guys, if you got any questions about them, I'll try to answer them down in the comments, or Steve will answer them if he doesn't. If I don't know and he doesn't know, then we'll just send you to Sam's Club to figure it out.
There you go.
And so
Try to put a link in to the Sam's Club page or
yeah, just I'll put it up there. And like I said, they are Augason Farms. 6-gallon with Gamma Seal lids. If you do that, they say you should be able to find these pretty easily. So
there you go.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here because now we've got to find a place to put all this stuff. Bye.
Take care.